Do 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 do. Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Your Favorite Ants. Let me change the logo. Boom, there it is. Now it's right. I am Kevin, and we're waiting on Sarah. Sarah is up in Bend, so of course up in Bend, things don't always work out as they should. Sometimes it works. Sometimes the internet's there for you, and other times it's not. Oh, there she is, ready, coming to you live in 3, 2, 1. Everyone, it's Sarah Louisa Jane P.
Hi.
Love it.
Can you
How do
hear me
you
okay?
feel? Yeah, I can hear you
I feel
just
good.
fine.
I feel really good. I was trying to get a better cord because remember we were having all the problems with my thing last week. So I was
Yes.
trying to get a better
In and out,
cord,
in and out, in and
but I
out.
couldn't. Right. But I think we're okay now, right?
Yeah, you sound great.
I mean, I'm on my earbuds, but such
I
is
mean,
life.
you know what? I think for now, like I would always go over like consistency of connection over quality always. Because like even at actually, you know what? There's something to that. Sometimes the quality of your connection might go down, but the consistency, if it's there, you can always go up or something. Also, I can't hear you now. You're gone from me.
Let's not do that. You
There
can hear
you
me
are.
now.
Now I can hear you. Yes, I can.
Here I am. So I'm still in Bend, Oregon due to snowpocalypse. Working on my Airstream. We've got new floors in, well, the subfloor, not the like pretty floor, but there are no
What's
longer
the
big
difference? Because
holes.
I'm sure there are people like me who don't know exactly what that means.
So subfloor is just like the kind of the board underneath your nice floors. So it's the floor that's the stability. So it's like often it's like a 4 by, whatever, 2 by 4. It's not a 2 by 4. It's just like a 48 inches by 96 inches to be exact. It's a thin board, and you're going to put your laminate or whatever it is on top of that, but it builds the stability of her. So she's had a floor with dents and holes in her the entire like last 10 years. So this is the first time she has a consistent floor in her. So that's what we've been doing the last couple of days.
Congratulations.
I know. And I was up here speaking at a church, and that was wonderful. But just getting ready to drive back down to SoCal, but doing
Wow,
really
wow,
well.
wow.
I
Let me
just
tell
met
you
with
what.
someone,
I
with a
can't
couple
handle
who were,
that drive. It's such a long drive.
it's 12 hours, which is why today we drank holiday punch by Three Birds.
Oh, you know what I want? I want a beer. Hold please.
Everybody
Sarah,
hold.
yeah.
People, tell
Everyone
us how
hold.
you're doing.
Everybody hold on.
Here
Hold
we
on.
come.
Just keep
Hold
holding.
on. Okay. So happy New Year,
Keep
friends. We are so glad to
holding
have you here.
on. 'Cause we're gonna make it through, make it through. That song's a fucking
So,
jam. I don't care who you are.
how the hell are you?
Well, first of all, I would like to introduce the show. Welcome to Your Favorite
Great.
Ants. Officially, now
Welcome.
that Sarah is here, I am Bernadette Peters. Actually, you know what? No. I am Sydney Porter. God rest his soul.
Sydney Portier.
Yeah. What did I just say, Porter? God kill me. How
It's okay.
disrespectful am I?
I'll be Betty White.
Coming to you live from beyond the grave, everyone. Cheers.
On the grave, barely making it. It's a Friday. We made it, friends. What
Yeah.
a week.
Yeah. I would
First week
say
of 2022.
yeah, it was. What was interesting was like I barely had any calls all week, and all the calls I did have got rescheduled to today for some
Ooh.
reason. And so I had the first call. I just told my agent, I'm like, listen, I'm not ready to talk. I don't have anything new. Like I thought, because it's like, hey, let's talk after the new year. Like I was like, yeah, I'll get some work done between, the last week of Christmas and the
No.
first week of the new. No, I actually did get a lot of work done, but not enough to have like a substantial meeting with someone. So I'm just like, let's not waste time.
But I do love that you have a book agent. That's exciting.
Praise God. So yeah, it's been a lot of just working on the proposal this week. My brain has been thinking and thinking and thinking about how to like say this stuff in a way where one of my friends, Melissa, told me when writing, is like, stop giving like She's like, in reality, nobody really wants the crust of a pie. It's just there to hold the filling. Give them the jam. Just give me the jam.
Oh,
I
I
want a
love
whole
the
thing of
crust.
jam. Well, then you're great, but I don't know. I don't know about you, Sarah. I don't know. So yeah, I would say
Nobody
overall,
does.
I'd give myself 10 out of 10 for the most. I'm feeling good. But
I'm so glad.
what about you? What are you feeling? How is things, etc.?
Things things are good. I like I said, I think having the Airstream have a floor in it has felt really good. I met today and I shared with you, I'm part of the coaching, like I'm in school to become a coach. So I'm in like a graduate program at a university and it's a Christian university. And I kind of have some feelings around that and it feels a little odd. So I've been a little unsure about my classmates. And today I met up with two of them who happen to live here in Bend, and they're amazing. Like they were surprisingly, they seemed cool, but I was like, a lot of these people seem
The thing
cool.
about it is a lot of people seem cool. Like you just
Right.
said, yeah, they seem cool, and then you get. It's like I thought
The
that the
bait and
people who I was
switch.
leading a Bible study exactly. The people I was leading Bible study with back in the day, they were the coolest people, and I said, "Yeah, so I'm gay. Is that a problem?" I was like, "Well, we don't know how we land on it." Bitch, you know. If you don't know, you know. If you don't know,
That
you know.
is the best way to say it. But they ended up being like, I literally was like, I want to hang out with them longer. And so I was running from the restaurant because I thought it was going to be like an hour. And it was like a little bit longer. And I want to hang out with them again. They were so cool as a couple.
What a treat! What a dream! It's so nice to meet new friends,
Hmm. Yeah, it
and
is.
that's what I'm hoping for. This this evening. I'm gathering with
What you
some of the
doing?
homosexuals to watch
The
Drag Race.
homosexuals. Perfect.
Yes, the homosexuals, TM. We're
Perfect.
getting together to celebrate our favorite pastime, our Super Bowl, our football.
Our weekly Super Bowl.
It literally is the Super Bowl every week. It's that exciting. Um, Drag Race season 14 is premiering tonight on VH1, not on Paramount Plus because, of course, they want to get the most dollars. So we found someone who has cable. So we're gonna go over there. Gonna be there
Friends
with
with
some.
benefits has a whole different meaning during the streaming years.
Oh, I wish it had the regular meaning of it during the streaming years, if we're being honest, because I realized recently I haven't had sex. I haven't had sex since October, man. It's a long time, and you know, as a slut, like this is as the Blanche Devereaux of this
Of our
group.
friend group. Absolutely.
It's
As
just
the Aunt Blanche that you truly are.
I just really like there hasn't there has been no balm in Gilead to heal my sin sick soul, if you know what I'm saying.
Gilead is dry.
I have not crossed over any river Jordan. I have not waded in anybody's water. I have not been touched
By an
by the hem
angel
of
or
his
anyone.
garment. You know, none of these things have happened for me. Oh, I just want
Oh,
to say before we go any farther, if you listen live, welcome to the party. If you
we're so
don't
happy to have
listen,
you here.
yeah, we're having a good time. We're going back to a different time in a couple weeks, so just like gear up for that. Everything's changing
Back to our
forever
old
and
time.
always. What was it? Like this is actually our old time, so it's going to be back to our other old time. Double old
Oh
time.
gosh.
No, is
Yes.
this our double old time
Yeah,
technically?
this was our first time. And then we went to Thursdays so more people could join us, but then your girl went into school.
Ugh,
But we're
getting a
going
fucking
back to
choosing
Thursdays.
an education over a podcast that isn't paying your bills. You.
I
Just kidding.
know. Why am I so selfish?
I know. Anyways, I wanted to say hi to this little buddy,
I
Ben.
love it. Fellow crust lover. Ben, welcome.
Ah, crust
Welcome.
lover. Anyways, if you're here live and you want to chat along with the show, please feel free to go ahead. We'll display the chat on the thing because we love having a conversation with us while you go. And also, tell us where you're joining us from. Are you joining us on?
Yes.
Are you joining us on your phone in a bathroom somewhere and listening in your AirPods?
Are you at
I
work?
want to know.
Be honest.
Yeah, are you streaming us on the Twitch app while you're also gaming?
Oh,
Actually, I can
oh,
see it. No one's looking at us on Twitch. Maybe we should push. Maybe what we should do, right? Like, we should get into like streaming. Like we should play like video games while we do it to up our game. We
yeah.
could become
You
streamers.
Have you ever played video games with me?
No.
I just get stuck in a corner, like, every time. I'm terrible at video games.
Well, I don't think. I mean, like, you can't be any worse than me. I mean, like, what about Mario Party? You ever played Mario Party?
Yeah, that's the one that my niece and nephew are like, "Hey, can you just hand us the your controller? We'll take care of this from here."
Why do you? What? Listen, you need to like not allow them to take your power like that. How are you ever going to get better? How are you ever going to
I don't
vanquish
know.
thine enemies? Oh,
You're right.
Cortland, yes. Also,
Oh, Cortland!
I'm a big fan of Cortland Coffee BTW.
Same.
Um, listen to Cortland's podcast and as well as he does this really cool Twitter space called Deconstruction Coffee Hour with his co-host at The Pursuing Life. Oh, her regular non-user name escapes me right now, but they're super super dope. Please go follow them all over the
They are
place. You
great.
can oh, Tippy is so mad. It's so cold, so she can't go outside right now. She's whiny.
Oh, baby
Anyways,
girl.
so yeah, have we covered how we
Her name
doing?
is Megan. I think we've
Perfect.
covered how we're doing. I would love to hop into some of the stuff we've got. I'm also just checking because
Mhm.
I put out this whole thing asking questions today. So I might, oh, I do have some. So
Perfection. Um, so yeah, let's just get into our pop culture segment
grievances
of
or
the
have you
week
heard?
called um let's just give it a different title every week. We'll just call it the pop culture segment. Um it's a black fly in my Chardonnay. That's what this one is about. And I will say the black fly in my
Black fly.
Chardonnay in Chardonnay. The black fly in my Chardonnay today is the passing of Sidney Poitier. God rest his soul. If you don't know who that is, one of the first black acting legends in American culture, a
First
phenom.
to get an Oscar.
Yeah. Oh,
Mhm.
so truly just a magnificent, magnanimous human. So rest in power, beloved. And that's all I got to
Legend.
say about that. But what do you got? You added a few things going on in there. I don't think I've caught up with a lot of stuff, but my head's been I've been building
You're okay.
furniture and
Ooh, that's right up my alley.
don't be impressed. It's just the shit that's like IKEA level bullshit. But like I've got
I know,
patio
but I'm
furniture
into it.
now, so
Okay, so one of the things I wanted to talk a little bit about is Kanye West. Can we talk about
we
yeet,
can always
ye?
talk about Yeep. People have very strong opinions about him. I used to have a strong opinion of him, and now, meh. Anyways, what has
I,
happened with our friend?
so they went on a date with a model. It was all over the
Love
news
that
this
for
morning.
them.
Except they were doing it to make a splash. So hired photographers to do a photo shoot of them on the date. Like it was their second time ever hanging out, and he hired a bunch of photographers. Here's how I feel about it. I'll be honest. Kanye West makes me nervous in the way Michael Jackson makes me nervous. I think they're mentally ill people that we take advantage of as a culture and community. He has clearly shown that he has mental illness, and yet we continue to like his ex-wife is like, I love him. Also, he's really mentally ill and I couldn't stay in it. And we still are
Mhm.
like, cool, cool, cool. Let's like not, I don't know, Kevin. I don't know. I just feel
I
very
mean,
like the idea that you would go on a date with someone. Meanwhile saying, but I still hope it works out with me and my wife. Like, who is this
yeah,
girl that's going on a date with him?
somebody who wants to go on a date with Kanye West and who wants to
Right.
be in a headline because I mean, who would? It's the fame monster in many ways. Uh,
Yeah.
I am of the same mind. I think that especially I have a beef with like white evangelicals who really like took advantage of his um his mental health and also his proclivity for faith, which I find quite
Right.
beautiful.
Right.
Um I I mean, I haven't listened to his stuff in a while because when your public persona like dips in like I'm sorry, homie was hanging out with Donald Trump and caving for a lot of stuff, like caving for a lot of Republican nonsense. And
Right.
regardless of his mental health issues, like when you cause harm to other people, that's when I'm just like, I can't be bothered with you now. And I also think that, like, it's exactly as you say, like the I won't say culture takes advantage of him. I feel like he's just like culture feeds a wound that he
Has.
what I'll say appears to be a fairly large like mental health issue. And like I
Well, and
also
he's
know like
got
I have friends of
babies.
mine who
There's
like
babies.
yeah, and I've got friends of mine like who like really love Kanye, love his music, think he's a genius thing. And I'm like,
Right.
have you heard him in an interview on the Breakfast Club? Have you heard him like, talking about issues of race in a way that's coherent and helpful? And I'll also say that the people who stand him the most are white folks. And I'm not it I'm just saying that's a sign. That's a sign.
Hmm.
So
Yeah.
God bless. You know what? Let's pray. We need to pray for Kanye. Everyone pray for Kanye West. Put him on your prayer
Pray for
list
Kanye.
today.
I just feel like all of this was performative because I cannot,
Oh,
so
of course.
we've all been through breakups. We've all been through breakups. I can
Not
imagine
me. I'm just kidding.
my most recent painful one. I knew that he was with someone else. That's painful and hard. I can't imagine if it was splashed all over the media. And that's what Kanye is going through, right? Like his ex-wife being in relationship with the guy from our life. What's his name?
Pete Davidson.
Pete Davidson, who looks a little bit like he looks like but that's fine.
Pete. Okay, here's
Someone
the deal with like Pete Davidson. I'm just like, I'm not
he's
saying he gives.
attractive in a weird way.
He's attractive in the way a douchebag is attractive.
Oh, is that it?
Oh, 100. He's got like one of those things where I'm sure he's not a douchebag, but I will say like he brushes up against it real. He brushes up against that, and that's what it is. Because like again, I don't.
He drives douchebaggery.
Yeah, that's a good way of putting it. And like like I feel like if I hung out with him, I would probably have a different thing. But it's just like it's the reason he scratches that bad boy itch. Whatever. I don't know what kind of bad boy, but
Ooh.
it's just like
Like, but it's bad. You're not sure what it is even. There's no evidence that this is actually a bad boy, but you just feel like,
no. It's like he's like kind of like he's like a spicy boy.
yes.
He's a this episode is now called Pete Davidson is a spicy boy. But like, he's kind of spicy and like he looks peculiar and he's funny. And let me tell you what,
He
nothing
does look
will
peculiar.
make me want to drop my draws faster than a good joke.
Oh,
Except for money.
yeah. Really? Money over hilarity?
I well, it depends on how much money.
Okay. Okay. So
And
there's like
no,
a
like
chart.
yeah, you can like the richer you are, the less funny you have to be. I mean, that's just a fact of life. I
God, you
mean,
really
look at me.
are a whore.
Look at you and me. Like
We have to be really, really fucking funny.
yeah, like we're out here on the podcast stage, out here in the world, out here on the Patreons, like tap dancing for our supper. Pretty much. I'm just kidding.
We still
Uh,
need to post our live one because it was one of my favorite episodes and we never posted it.
which one? Oh,
At Wild Goose.
yeah. Maybe we'll put a bonus episode out soon. We should do that. We
Because
should
that
do
was
that.
really fun. I
This
feel
is
like you and I love a
also a
crowd.
reason
We
why we need
love
to
a crowd.
do. Also, another reason why we need to do a live show, and I'm trying to talk to Josh and Adrian about everyone. This is why you should, if you're listening to this now or later, just flood Josh and Adrian's inbox. We need to do a podcast tour. I think we need to get the gang together. I think we need to go to just like the cities that we all live in.
Mhm,
So that
mhm.
way we already have connections. We don't have to do much. And also
I
we
love
just
it.
get to visit each other in each other's cities.
And like
And then
people would love it. We can do short episodes. Like everyone can do just like little short episodes.
yeah, a little
Everyone get a
30-minute
taste.
actually, like 30-minute episodes that actually all bleed into each other. And it's all just like it's actually just
One
like it's
episode.
just we do 2 hours of content, but
Yes.
like we just like like break it up into 30-minute things, and then we put part 1, part 2, part 3, part 4
And
on
we
different
have to tell
podcasts.
Blake that we're going to cut out for the 2 hours of content. We have to cut out Blake's silence. when Blake is really thinking.
Mm, I mean,
I
but like
love Blake so much.
I do. He's truly
Yes, Blake
he's
Chastain from Exvangelical, just to
yeah.
let you guys know.
So while
Sorry,
we're on
that
the
was a
subject,
really
if you
insider.
haven't subscribed to our podcast, please do
Please
that
do.
on all of your
You need to
social
do
media
it.
platform or your podcast platforms, and also subscribe to Making Spaces. Please subscribe to A Tiny Revolution and subscribe to all the other shows. Oh, let me tell you what. Ben just said something. Everyone's an artist until the rent is due. I think that can also to apply to the art of comedy. I was seeing that on TikTok, I think, going around where people were talking about just like how so much of something, even like something like this for you and me, like how we have the space, like we have an hour on a Friday to sit down and just bullshit
Right.
around. And in some way, this is
And
contributing
every week
to,
surprised that other people show up.
yeah. And other people are kind of fueling this in many ways. And that we also, how many people want to do that, but at the end of the day, they're wondering how they're, again, how they're going to pay rent.
Right.
It's just very interesting to see, like, yeah. Anyways, let's not get dark. Let's get back to the
Some
topic at
lightness.
hand
Well,
because
not lightness. I
otherwise,
wanted to talk about go.
no, I was just going to say, let's get back to the topic at hand.
Well, the next topic at hand is not a light topic. So coronavirus, still
Never
around,
heard of her.
guys.
Just kidding. Just kidding.
Never heard of her. She's
I
got new
mean,
names. Literally, she has changed her name more
this is,
than
listen, more
who's used her name a lot.
P.
More
Diddy.
than Prince or P. Diddy.
Yeah, P. Diddy really changed his name. It was P. Diddy, then P. Diddy Combs,
Puff,
Sean Combs,
Puff
Puff Daddy
Daddy first.
Combs.
Yeah, all the
Always
names.
Puff Daddy, and now he got to P Diddy by the. I think he's
P.
still P
Diddy.
Diddy right now. Sean
I
P Diddy,
mean,
Puff Daddy, Cone Daddy, Daddy Diddy.
coronavirus. We are on Omicron, which sounds to me like some sort of transformer. But I was reading in the Canadian
Optimus
news, which
Prime.
I thought was people were sort of critiquing. I was sitting with some folks who are a little bit, I'll call them vaccination hesitant, and I was not sitting with them in person because I will not do that. But they were saying that well, in Canada, a lot of people are vaccinated, but they're still having to shut everything down. Here's why. Friends, the vaccination does not mean that you will not get the virus necessarily. It means that if you get it, you're a lot less likely to get it badly, like a
Mm-hmm.
lot less likely. So you're a lot less likely to ruin hospital stays, but you may still stay in the hospital, which means beds are taken up. So in Canada, they have really strict bed and nurse ratios. And so we don't have those here because, capitalism when it comes to medicine. And so the reason that a lot of things are shutting down is the hospitals are getting overwhelmed because the hospitals have less of a capacity. Why do I say
Mm-hmm.
all that? Because stop trying to give an excuse for not getting vaccination because people are still going to the hospital. Correct, they are. And we're going to continue this cycle until enough of us stand up, get vaccinated, and make it where our poor healthcare providers, like all of my friends here who are exhausted and tired and so frustrated of this bullshit, friends, they are so
Mm-hmm.
tired of this bullshit. So
Mm-hmm. And I know that if you're listening to our podcast, we're probably preaching to the choir.
we are, I know.
Um, um, what I found, this is where I found a little bit of solace in a lot of this is recognizing at the heart of this for me, like when I really like in my highest self, which of course when I'm smoking it's all the time. I'm sorry.
No, you're
No,
not.
I'm not. Call me out.
Sorry.
But I recognize that the people who are unwilling to get vaccinated, which they are the same people who stormed the Capitol, are the same people
I
who
know.
believe that the election was a hoax, are a victim of deliberate misinformation.
Yep.
And as as much as it pains me to kind of admit on like I don't want to place blame. I'm just like, because people are where they are for any number of reasons. Like, and the thing is that the racist machine works. The
Yeah.
racist machine has been working, and I can no longer, at least for me, I can no longer remain happy and peaceful when my rage continues to be against people who are actively being lied to. And
Right.
I again, I know that's like, it's, I'm not saying other people don't have to be upset, or you're not allowed to be rageful, or you're not allowed to be pissed off. Like, I have all of those feelings as well, and also like where I come to at the end of it is that's how I am dealing with it, and I can't. It's just like, I'm like, I can't be responsible anymore. Like, that's really the thing, is like, I feel like so many of us feel the weight of this responsibility. And I'm going to say, like, the weight of the responsibility is on our national government, who is failing us, if we're being honest. We live in a country where
Yeah.
people um, are uninsured. And so even if they survive COVID, they are going to have bills that they can't pay.
Hmm.
You know, they're going to have, there's a red cardinal in my yard, and that's a sign for me. So I'm like, hey, I see you, Holy
What is
Ghost.
the sign of?
It's just that, like, hey, pay attention. This is important. And so whenever a red
Um,
cardinal shows up, I'm just like, so yeah, that's just, it's like, I don't even make comments about it that much on the internet anymore, because it's just like the people who follow me know where I stand and know where I want to do. And it's just like,
and our work is for them, and our work is not for people who that's not the case, right?
mhm. If they want it to be, like, I'll say first and foremost, my work is for myself. I enjoy it this much.
I love that.
And also, yeah, so sorry, like, that's that. What do you think about that? I know I just threw a whole bunch of shit
No,
on
I
you.
think you're right. I think Sierra, bring Sierra's comment up there. Compassion is so hard on some days. So Oregon just
Mhm.
established crisis standards of care. Sierra lives in Oregon. It is um it's so hard when the day, like, you want to have grace. I think that's the thing, right? Like, we want to make space and have grace for people until it's actively harming other people. But then we have to understand too that everybody is being fed a different narrative. I mean, from all the algorithms that like make sure that we only hear what we want to hear, all that sort of
Mhm.
stuff. Like, it really is it's stacked against us ever overcoming and bridging the gaps. And so we've got
Mhm.
to do that work on a very local level. And I talk about this all the time. You can't change things on a macro level unless you're capable of engaging it on a micro level, right? Talking to the people, your person that you say, hey, this, I don't want to talk to you about this, but I know
Mhm.
that there's a potential. And I think the only way people change, the Christian church doesn't
Mhm.
always get things right, but this idea of relationship being the only way people change, it's unfortunately true.
Yeah, I don't think that came originally from the church, though, so,
No,
I
it
mean,
didn't originally come from the church, but people are all the time like relationship, it's a
let me tell you
relationship that
I
changes people.
let me tell you what, I say that God is not religion nor relationship, God is merely reality.
I like that.
Think about it. It's a reality that you can either choose to just accept or not.
I actually quoted you this week. So I'm speaking at an event for pastors about
Mm.
embodiment. And the reason being is that the guys that were
Body.
originally presenting about holistic embodiment, we're talking about their bodies as if their bodies were something in the other room. And as someone who has moved through eating disorders and done a lot of therapy and counseling around that, I'll tell you that there's nothing easier for me than to feel as though my body is something separate from me and something that should be punished, right? Like,
Mm.
it's this very easy. So I was having this whole conversation, and I had this thing where I was like speaking to the person who's running this big conference that we're doing, and I was like, "Yeah, I just need to stop you there because you're acting like God is that's something way over there." And I was like, and as my friend Kevin constantly is reminding me, God is in me and through me, and I am not separate from the divine, and neither are you. And
Mm.
like scripture, if you want to go use scripture, it's very clear about that. And he was like,
It's clear.
yeah, that's true. So then they started talking about embodiment and also like this idea as a very present and like very in touch thing.
Mm.
So I'm really excited. So I get to have an hour and a half with a bunch of evangelical pastors talking about why the way they talk about bodies as dangerous is problematic, not just for themselves, but for others.
That, I think, is, like, the biggest that right there is what I'm very interested in seeing for like, well, like I can't remember where I heard it, but it was basically I think it was like one of the woo woo people out there, maybe wrong. No, it was Sadhguru. Sadhguru said, you want people to care about the earth, you want people to care about the trees and the environment, but they don't even care about their own bodies. They don't even care
Mm-hmm.
about the peace that they feel within themselves. Why do you think? How are you going to get them to care about other people when they don't even care about how they feel? And that's the thing, is that I would say the majority of people are so scared and they're just afraid it's going to get worse, and so they just cling to, something that, even though it's painful, is telling, like saying, this is the way, this is salvation, this is salvation.
Mm.
And so I just have such pity on those people.
But also like empathy and compassion. I've been staying with my nieces who you met. They're like they're one of my best friend's children and call me Aunt Sarah. But we've been talking about the word empathy because one of them is 8 and having a really tough time understanding her little sister who just turned 5, why she has to care about how she
Oh,
feels about something.
let me tell you what,
She
that
literally said the
age is
other day,
hard.
oh, it's so hard. And my friend has raised them where they've learned to like express themselves, which is great and wonderful, but really hard right now. Cause she literally said to my friend the other day, because my friend was like, you got to get ready for school. And she's like, but we have a delay. She's like, yeah, but mommy still has to go to work. So I need you to get ready because I don't want to be, I have a call and I can't be checking in on you getting ready while I have the call. And she goes, that sounds like a you problem, not a me problem.
I've
And
got
she's
to
like, I'm
say,
so, you would love
I
this little girl.
respect that. I respect that. I'm just like, it is, but you have to guarantee by the time it is time for you to go that you will be ready. Can you give that to me? Because if not, we're going to have a different conversation. That's all I would
Right.
do.
So she
Oh
did a
God,
great job.
if I had a kid, listen, I don't want a baby. I want like a 6 or 7 year old who talks like that. Let me raise them
Well,
from then on. I would shape the shit out of that kid.
my friend might be bringing this child to you. No, she loves her daughter, and her daughter's great. But she literally said, I don't understand why your work affects my life. And she was like, in every way, my work affects your life because you couldn't have the life you have if I didn't work the way I do. It was the funniest conversation. And so her and I went for a hike. Well, her daughter changed changed her gears, and we came back totally different kid.
Mm,
But it was that whole idea of like learning empathy, and she's been great ever since her mom kind of said, look, I'm going to give you space. But here was the wisest thing. I'm not giving parenting advice, but watching my
mm,
friends who are parents here, they're like ninjas. She said, hey, you and I aren't like, we're kind of out of flow right now. How about if we hug each other? Would you like a hug right now? And let's breathe together. And she hugged her. They breathed together. She's like, I'm going to go for a hike. And then when I come back, I'm going to let you make decisions that you think are the best to make. That girl fed her sister breakfast. She got dressed. She was ready to go to school. But before that, she was all ass and sass. She was just like, because it's like we're all
that's
learning to set boundaries, right?
yeah. And I think, like, what's interesting is just like that is how that child believed she needed to set her boundary. That's
Mm-hmm.
how she believed, I will only be heard if I talk this way.
Mm-hmm. And then to
And like,
hear it differently.
yeah, and whether or not, like, it's just like, well, where did they learn that from? Doesn't really matter, does it?
Mm-mm.
I'm just
Ben
like
brought
just
up a
like
really good point. There's so much baked in by the time they're 6 or 7. The worst is having to reprogram your own bad programming. I often
yeah.
have heard counseling or therapy described as reparenting yourself.
Mhm. This is also something, another plug for one of our friends, at least, Dr. Tina Schemmer Sellers. Dr.
There you go.
Tina Schemmer
Simmer
Sellers.
Sellers. Dr.
Um,
Tina, as we call her.
yeah, Dr. Tina, sex therapist, parenting, badass, wrote a book called Shameless Parenting, which is literally a guide for like what is developmentally appropriate to talk to your children about, like around like behaviors, like both like
Mhm.
just like social behaviors and also sexual behaviors and like sexual development, things that you can talk about, things and how to talk about them, and basically pointing back to the fact that just like when your kid does something and it sets you off, when it's literally just them being a kid, that's your shame being activated, that's your trigger being activated.
And it's information, right? You always talk about something being information.
Yeah.
We so often immediately go to crisis instead of, huh, this is information. I felt really uncomfortable in this space. Why did I feel really uncomfortable in this space?
Mhm. Or my kid did something really, really weird and it caused me to be so upset. Why did it cause me to have this large reaction when it's literally
Right.
my kid just spilled something? Like, for
What's the
example,
worry
that
behind the worry?
yeah, that's something that happened in my family. Like, I would spill things. My dad would go off on me, which is also the reason I still have like fucking like
Mhm.
weird things around dropping shit, and I just feel stupid.
No,
Um,
I've seen you have a moment when I know that there's shame in the room that isn't in the room currently.
mm,
Like when you spill something when you're cooking or something doesn't go right, I can almost see young Kevin. Now you catch yourself very quickly and you
mm,
redirect the child in you. But I think there is that thing where we're like, and I have the same thing when I misplaced something because as a child, not knowing I was ADHD, I lost mittens, hats. And my parents constantly said to me, if you would just be consistent. And my parents were doing the best they could to parent. They're great parents, but they were
mhm,
constantly saying, like, why are you showing up so great over here and not great over here? Little did they know because I'm ADHD. And I literally, to show
mm.
up over here, my brain is not able to be also over there.
Listen, listen. Jesus might have been able to appear to 500 people at once, but I am not Houdini,
No, but I will like think of 500 things at once because I
and
literally
I
have an ADHD brain.
and you know what? I will follow Jesus 500 miles, and I will follow him 500 more, just to be the
Just
good
to be the
Christian
one.
who would walk 1,000
Five.
miles.
Yes, beautiful. Do you want to get to some questions?
Yeah, I do. Things I would love to bring into the new year. If you've got a question, please send it to
Please.
askyourfavoriteants@gmail.com. We may read them aloud on the air. Everything is anonymous.
Confidential. Mhm.
And we will answer your questions on the air. It can be everything deconstruction, family related, dating related, drug related, mental health related, clergy, ministry related,
Makeup
um,
related, skincare related.
beer.
We've had them all.
Yeah. And going forward in the future, like what I would love to do, and this is like obviously like our or having a planning meeting on the air. What I would love to do is like
Welcome
maybe
to us.
let's do like maybe like we'll pick out for like for February we're gonna do a series of shows where let's talk about sex and let's get Tina on the line and let's get
Yes.
like some
Let's
other
just
some other
manifest that.
sexperts.
February is about relationships and sex because it's
Bitch.
Valentine's Day.
Listen, your favorite ants are going to get saucy and sexy. So get your questions in around sex and relationships and love and fucking shit. I don't know why I said fuck and shit again.
I don't know either.
Sorry.
But I will
I'm
say this,
sorry.
the questions that I have today are all about New Year's. So it feels like January is all about like new habits, new movement. So in January, ask us any questions you might have about starting new plans. What does it look
Mhm.
like? What are practices that we have? The person
Yeah.
asked, what is something that you're adding or subtracting from your both of your lives in 2022?
Ooh. I've got both and. Okay. Let me
Okay, you
think.
go first.
Do you know?
Or do you want? I do.
No, you go
So
first.
for me, adding it's kind of a. I always like to think of things as like a invitation. Like I feel like I've been invited into something. So the something that I'm adding is that I, as we know, am a runner who has something called plantar fasciitis because I bitch about it all the time. And I went to a
My favorite thing
specialist.
about you, TBH.
Is that I bitch about my plantar fasciitis all the
I,
time?
I'm just like, the bitch got a plantar fascie.
Her fasciitis is plantard. So I went to a doctor who said to me, "Yeah, you have plantar fasciitis and it's chronic. So guess what you have to do every day? Yoga and stretch."
Bitch.
And as someone whose brain does not prefer the slow movement of yoga, I just want to get going, which makes sense, especially with like all my eating disorder stuff and my feelings about that my body needs to be punished for it to be exercise.
Hmm.
I'm on the seventh day of doing yoga daily. Um,
Are you doing
and I'm
yoga with
doing
Adrian?
I am right now. I missed one day, both my friend and I, but I had done a yoga movement in the morning, just not yoga with
Not with
Adrian.
her.
Not with her. But I'm gonna do the 30 days of that. So I've added that. And it's hard, only because it's slow and it requires me to just really get in touch with my
Hmm.
body in a way that's
That's
different.
the thing about Adrian's flows is that like they're so accessible, but they feel so. I'm like, am I doing anything? And then like, oh man, that's what I like. For some people, it's not accessible, and I get it. So I would also say if something like yoga
That
with
doesn't work
Adrian's
for
not
you?
accessible, I would suggest the underbelly yoga with Jessamine Stanley. I also
Mm.
have I also work on her app. And she is a fat black queer, also non-monogamous yoga teacher, and her shit is super accessible and delicious, and like, you know, she doesn't, she looks like a different kind of delicious body.
Well, that's something
Anyways,
I love
that's great.
Adrian because she'll just start singing like random like she definitely has an ADHD brain, so it's fun.
Oh,
Um,
100%.
so I've been doing that and that's been a good addition. I also started just being really mindful of my finances and like really doing like because I avoided them because they make me uncomfortable and I'm not great about that. So I've added that as well. Subtracting, I
Mhm.
don't have anything. So I want you to go first and I'll see if I can think of anything.
Mm. Well, I don't understand why anybody well, that's not true. I understand why people do a lot of things. Um, but like when people I feel like when people do fasting, they see it as a punishment,
Right.
or like, so like if they're doing dry January, it's a punishment. It's like, oh, I drank too much before, and so I gotta totally cut it
Or it's a
off.
binge, so they could binge it before because they know they're cutting it out in January, and that makes me
Yeah, and
nervous.
then at the end they're just gonna go right back to it. But really, like,
Mhm.
fasting from anything is as a spiritual practice, I think, is a beautiful thing. Um, and I just, I'm not one to deprive myself of pleasure, and that's just kind of a thing for
I think
myself.
that's shocking for everyone to hear that.
You're absolutely. I so beat myself up all the time. And that's the
Actually,
thing
you
is,
do, but your healthiest moments are when you walk away from that. You can be really hard on yourself. You can. Every
do
now and
I?
then,
Of
every
course,
now
every
and
now and
then.
then,
And
who
when you
isn't?
are that way, I've told you this before as a dear friend of yours, when you are that way, I love to see you quickly repair. This is
Oh,
my niece Joy. She just turned 5.
happy birthday to you. Yeah, yeah,
She's
yeah,
singing to
yeah,
you.
yeah, yeah,
They're
yeah.
singing to you. Say hi. Hi.
Hey.
They can't hear you. Can I come out in a little bit? We'll play? Yeah. Okay. Did you need something? No. Okay. I just wanted to say bye. We're picking up Sissy. Okay, go pick up Sissy. I'll see you later.
Oh,
Love
what a
you.
darling. Um, things, I think, well, like, I haven't really added. What have I added? Um, I don't think I've really added anything. Um, I'm doing the yoga with Adrian 30-day thing. Usually I was just doing a couple
What?
times a week, but oh yeah. I'm on day 5 though. I'm behind. So I'm just gonna go at my own pace. Um, but I've truly enjoyed just getting back into that little stretchy stretch, especially after like being away from my practice for a week or so. Um, I am trying to I want to find like a queer gym in town. Um, because like I just I've been going to this one gym for a while, and it's fine. It's just so painfully straight, and
Talk a little bit. We talked a little bit about this offline. What does that mean by painfully straight? What is painfully
it's
straight
just
about a
like,
gym? Because that might be confusing to some people.
ugh, painfully straight is like like the music. I'm like, why are we listening to this like Nickelback, like, washed up
It sounds like painfully white.
BS? Yes, painfully white, painfully straight. Um, just like, very broy, and that's fine because that is like the environment. I knew what I was getting myself into in some ways. And now I'm realizing that just like it doesn't feed my soul. And also like, and this is maybe this is just my perception, but the people I look around and uh I feel like some people are there punishing themselves rather than like truly engaging in the joy of their body. Because when I'm there, like I'm having such a fun time figuring out what I can do. Um, but all the other people, like this one person next to me, was just like, "Oh God, I wish this was over." I'm like, "Huh?" I mean, like I get it,
Can
but
I
also
ask
there.
the people who are listening? I want to hear what do you guys do for whether it's movement, embodiment, whatever it might be, what are something that you like enjoy doing?
Yeah. And for me,
Because I
like
think so many people are doing exercises they don't enjoy.
and also I think there's something weird, someone pointed this out to me that in American culture, exercise from a very young age, from elementary school, is equated with punishment. And
Oh,
so
like give
think
me
about
5
that.
push-ups.
Drop and give me 50. Go run a lap. You're gonna have to do, quote what they call suicides.
Mm.
And I'm like, oh my goodness. I'm just like from like it's never encouraged as like, hey, we're gonna like enjoy what it feels to like run at our own like if I from like a little like I like running now. And if someone
Mhm.
had told me the proper way, like don't run any faster than you can breathe. Like that's it. That's the whole fucking trick to running.
It is.
How fucking
And
stupid is
eventually
that?
you'll be able to go faster.
Yes. And like it's so wild to me. I'm just like, I can run a couple miles like without stopping. Granted, like, but just like I'm doing it in like like probably close to 18 minutes because like that's my pace. Who cares? Because that's
But if you
mine.
enjoy it,
Exactly. And so that's the thing. I wish that I wish that I wish I felt that at my gym. So it's just I'm just curious. I need to investigate my feelings a little bit more to see if I'm like projecting some stuff or like um but so that's one part of it. I will say the thing I'm not really subtracting anything. Um I feel like cuz again like my year like I don't run on a calendar year. I run on a lunar year, so.
oh, talk more about that.
Oh, my new year started back in October. The witch's new year. Samhain.
Oh, I didn't know.
Which is also technically the beginning of the liturgical calendar. So just like for me, my shit starts like I start in like for me like the beginning of my year is really like top of November,
Okay.
technically speaking. So like right now, I feel like I'm in the third month of a cycle.
And the moon. What's happening with
Yeah,
the moon? It's a new moon.
right now it was a new moon on the second. It'll be a full moon on the sixth. No, the 16th. Yes, next full moon is on the 16th.
Um, so I just want to check
Um,
out. People are saying the things that they do that they love is someone genuinely loves jogging. Me too. That's Ben again. Like 12-minute mile pace is perfect. Great thinking space. I agree. That's why I bitch about being injured.
mhm,
Ultimate frisbee, hiking, yoga, going to the batting cages, and snowshoeing. Those are fun.
mhm,
And then yoga
mhm,
is where I get to see what my body can really do and it soothes my nervous system. That has been the
mhm.
thing. I'll be honest. I go to the mat begrudgingly. And I'm not saying that if something like it's good for me and not punishing, but I go to the mat usually
Whoa,
like,
there is
oh,
a mess of birds in my yard.
what
Like
does that mean?
I'm talking like a whole flock of these giant ass blackbirds are just in my yard searching for
Blackbird
food
singing in the dead
apparently,
of night.
which I hope is good. I hope they get whatever they need, but like it's just so wild. It was like, wow, nature. And
Nature.
Tippy is mad as hell looking at these birds. They're very pretty though.
Hey, we're
Sorry
getting
to
ready to
distract.
be on an hour. No, you're doing great. Is there any question that you had? Because the other questions,
Mm.
I don't think they apply to what we're talking about. Do you have any questions from anyone?
I do not, but I do want to share my vision board.
Oh, good, because we are going to talk about it this week. So perfect.
Yes. So here we
I
are.
love it.
So I'm
I'll do
gonna
mine
zoom in
next
on.
week.
Yeah, you bring yours in next week. Let me go to. So here we are. As you can see over here, we have this big fat phrase, unbearable compassion, because that is exactly what I'm interested in this year. A year of unbearable compassion where I just love myself so fucking fiercely. I love this phrase, magical work for magical pay.
Love that.
Um, Sydney, Australia, the lovers card, a lot of lovers theme going on. I want to find a nice man or a man type person to date.
I love that, a man type person. I love
Yeah,
it.
tarot card, crystals everywhere. I would like a new Mac. Um, so I
Oh,
want that. I want some kind of camper van situation.
excuse me. Oh, I'm into that.
I want an electric vehicle. I want to rest a lot. I want a lot of these cute outfits that I have on here.
Rompers.
Yeah, rompers and dresses. I really like. I am actually very inspired by Jonathan Van Ness, and I would really like to embody more of this delicious genderqueer, like fabulosity. And I used to hate using that word or a derivative of the word fabulous because it made me feel like a faggot. But now I fully embrace the fact that I am indeed one. So no big deal. I would love to get on the Out 100, like top 100, like influencers of shit.
I don't know what
I'd like
that
to try
is.
Out 100. Oh, it's just like you know how there's always like those like 50 over 50. It's that but gay.
Mm.
You know?
Oh, Out 100. I get it.
Yeah, it's a magazine.
Um, so I am so excited to make my vision board. Can I ask you, how did you make yours? Was that in
Uh
person and you scanned it, or did you cut those things out digitally?
oh yeah, I just used Canva. You just put something in there and then you click background remover and then
Just a little tip, friends. I will be
it's
making mine
very
that way.
yeah, I'm just like because I don't have magazines and I don't care to use paper. I mean, like it's good if you're a tactile person, you want to do that. That's great. I'm not that girl, and also I don't want to go buy a bunch of magazines just to cut them up. That to me, I'm not
Mm-mm.
going to use the majority of that paper. So to me, it feels like not good
Wasteful.
for me. I don't want to say wasteful. I just don't think it feels good because
Um, well, I am so excited to be going into 2022 this year. Both of us have got a lot of things launching. It's exciting. It's a lot of work, a lot of changes. Um,
listen.
a- Anything you want to pitch before we close out?
I would just like to say for all of you friends out there, for both of us, because like Sarah's getting ready to launch her Patreon. I've got my Patreon community.
That's true.
And something I am very excited about is I'm starting to plan out a retreat. We're going for summertime. Um, I actually really oh, you never went there. One of the places I'm trying to do is actually in Hot Springs. Um, it's a it's on Airbnb. It's called the Wheel of Bliss. If you Google it on Airbnb,
I
Google it
don't
on
know it.
Airbnb. It's called the Wheel of Bliss. I went there for one of my friend's weddings. It was for
Oh, I
Micah's
remember
wedding
that.
right before Wild Goose. And it's just a big house. You can sleep like 13 people. You can campground outside. And if we bring our own sound equipment and music, we can literally just throw ourselves a mini festival out there. So
I'm in it. I'm into it.
so I'm just saying that like we need to just vision it. Dirty Rotten Church
Vision.
Camp.
I love it. I'm into it. Let's do it.
Okay.
Uh,
Well, friends, lovers. Oh wait, do you have anything that you need to promote?
Nope. This week, my Patreon will go live by the end of this week because I want to start making spaces again. The podcast, my personal podcast that had a co-host for a while, and now it's just going to be me, which is she's great. But I'm
It's
so
gonna
excited.
be me.
It's
Oh,
gonna
no,
be
what you
me.
do.
But I'm hiring a like a great editor. I'm excited about that. My
Mm,
new podcast, Rev Covery, is coming out. We have been in post production for a little while, so I think it's going to be really good. Selecting some fun music, all that. Yeah, so I'm just excited about that, and that's all I have to promote. Really, join
it's great.
us, follow us. Please like, subscribe, comment, tell your friends about it.
Mm.
Mark, we're so glad you're here. We got a new deconstructing Christian here. Just got out of playing in
Bow,
the worship
bow.
team.
Listen, let me tell
So
you what.
we're glad to have you here. Welcome,
If you ever want to come to my church and do worship, when we meet in person again, we're on a break from meeting in
everyone.
person,
Yeah,
which
should be. Yep.
oh my god, I know it's the right thing to do. I know it's the smart and healthy thing to do, but my god, I'm not going to lie, I hate I hate doing Zoom church.
Hmm.
Ugh.
I know.
Anyways, sorry to end it on a
Anyways,
bummy. Wait, before
we
we go,
love you.
what's
What?
what's your what's your advice for the week? Since we have time, we do
We
used to
do have
dole
time.
out good.
Yeah, let's get
Um,
back to that.
what do you advise this week? What's your advice
This
for our
week,
friends?
my really, I think, great advice is to pay attention to your day. Notice when you are most, when you feel like you can be most productive and work in that space instead of trying to shove, and if you can, shove all your work into, I feel like so many ways we keep trying to like fit our lives into different, like, this is when I need to do this. This is when I need to do this. So chart out your this week, just notice, just spend some time noticing. So for me, I always was trying to work out at certain times. I've started getting up at 6:30 every morning working out because that works for me. And I realize
Hmm.
I just feel like my advice for you is pay attention to your own rhythms and don't try to just use someone else's.
Yeah. Ooh, shit! I do have something else I need to promote before I give my advice.
Oh,
Tarot school. You want to learn how to
that's
read
right.
tarot cards? You want to learn how to read them in Comunidad? You want to get it for just two payments of $77? Well, you can. So go to the link in my bio, wherever you're listening or hearing this. Um, 52 people have signed up. I'm fucking blown away. I'm very
That's so
excited. It's
fun.
7 weeks of live workshops where I'm going to take you from tarot basic to tarot bad bitch in 7 weeks.
I
But it's
love
really,
it.
really cool. You get to practice with other people. It is one of the ways I found my grounding. So please come hang out with us over at that. You can go to at the Kevin Garcia and just click the link in my bio and sign up there. My advice for the week is
Come on, Nancy
even
Kevin,
if
what you got?
even if you are not ready for the day, it cannot always be night.
Oh, you
It's
gonna
from
unpack
TikTok.
that a
Don't.
little?
No, I will not unpack that. I have nothing more to
Okay.
say.
Okay.
Yeah, that's
Mystery.
my advice for the week. Even that's also from TikTok. So like, go look it up.
Oh, follow me on TikTok if you want to hear about my trailer all the time, because that's all I do on there.
I okay. Also, okay, maybe this is something to talk about next week. I want to talk about like I've been thinking just a lot about how like
Sure.
what
I turned
the
on TikTok. I was gonna try to find that thing. Keep going.
the thing I was thinking about was how for you and me who are like for lack of a better term, like on the influencer, we're in the influencer land, and I just need to be real about that. That's what I'm doing. I'm making social media content, and that is how I make money now. And also, I do coaching things, but like it's part of the gig,
Part of what
right?
you do. Right.
I like social media because it had allowed me to connect with people and also gave me a community when I had none. And
Correct.
it's also the place that helped me pay my bills. And it's
Correct.
also a place where like I engage with all these other, and it's also a place where I feel the need to project a certain kind of thing while also trying to be myself. But if I'm only myself and I don't do the thing that works on social media, then I don't get to play, and then I don't get to pay my bills. And yeah, you see what I'm saying?
Okay. Okay. Yep. Yep. It's a cycle.
This is what's on my brain.
Yeah.
But if you want to talk about it, tune in next week for the really
Next week.
adventures of Kevin's crazy brain. I love you. My
I love you.
advice
We love
stands.
you.
We do. And Sarah Louise Jane Heath, you're the best. So
You're the
until next
best.
week, everybody, take your meds, call your person, shake your ass a little bit.
Oof,
Tune
oof,
in to
oof.
VH1 RuPaul's Drag Race and tell me what you think about the cisgender heterosexual queen on the show.
Ooh, I didn't know there was one. I'm excited. I'll go check that out.
Ooh, bitch. When I tell you there people are in they fee-fees about it too.
Ooh, that's the next thing I'm doing right now. We love you.
Mhm. Goodbye,
Bye.
everyone.